Today, our topic is product development. I'm Vicki Langford, and I'm actually the founder of 3810. And my background is been in manufacturing for 30-something years. And we manufacture car audio products in the mobile electronic space, consumer electronic space called DD Audio. So that building's right next door. So this is kind of an extension of that for us, and getting back in the community and being active in the startup world has been really fun and educational. We've been here 5 years now. We actually started in California, and we went through an incubator program out there. And then we've always tried to engage and use the resources that are around our states. So it's kind of a natural extension to get back into it again. So, all right, product development. Okay, who here has a business that has products? Anybody? All right, cool. A service is also technically a product. So let's, as we're talking about this, and I'm using product all the time, just realize that as a service, you still have to figure out your costing model. You still have to figure out your value options and stuff. So it's the same in my mind. All right, I wanted to start with the definition of what I feel is a good definition of businesses. We have to create or provide something of value that other people actually need or want at a price that they're willing to pay in a way that satisfies them and meets their expectations and provides revenue so that we can stay in business. So based on that definition, I think we're going to break it down. So create or provide something of value. That is product development. How to figure out what it is that we're creating, and is it providing value? Is it something that people need? So this is pretty simple, but it's not. All right. So then we get, to the ultimate why question. Is it something that people want or need? And that's where we have to really get into what problem are we solving with this product that we're offering. Sometimes we have great ideas, but we haven't tested the market to see if people actually want it or need it. Is it really solving the problem that actual customers have? So we're going to talk a little bit more about this, just given the high level. At a price they're willing to pay, which I feel like in product development, this sometimes can get away. Is it possible? I want to create fusion. Should be so easy. No, it's not possible. I can't do it at a price that I can afford. Nobody's going to give me money to do it. So pie in the sky, you have to break it down and get it into tangible chunks. And I'm not a scientist too, so it's like even less possible. Is it in a way that satisfies the purchaser's needs and expectations? So is it duplicatable? Is it scalable? We can't just have one customer. So we have to think of the whole customer base that we want to reach. And then can we do it efficiently? Is it going to can we duplicate it and replicate it enough to where we're actually making money so we can run our business and grow or provide benefits or have a life and have roof over our head? So can we do it efficiently? So in my mind, product development needs to answer each one of these things as a whole. This has been around for a while, but I love this analogy. This is actually the guy, his name is Henrik Kinberg, probably saying it wrong. He was involved in the Spotify release and creating the code and doing Spotify stuff. He's very much into agile project management, which is basically what he's talking about here. So a lot of times people take product development and they think, okay, I've just got to get to the finished product. This is the car metaphor. So I'm going to start with some foundational things, and then I'm going to put stuff, and then I'm going to get to a finished product. But that doesn't answer the questions properly. What question are we solving? We want to give somebody a car. Why? Is the car the best thing for them to solve their problem? Is it going to be possible? Is it efficient? So in doing the research, if you break it down into what question am I solving, the question is, as a consumer, as a customer, I want to get from point A to point B. Is that the only question what questions should we be asking that customer in order to make sure we're figuring out what problem to solve? Anybody? I'm a customer, I want to get from point A to point B. What other information do you need in order to do an analysis?
How fast do you need to get there?
How fast do you need to get there? Very good. I can write it on the board.
What's most important for you during that process or that journey?
Okay, elaborate a little bit more.
'Cause you're saying point A to point B, but what's really important in that process? So is it I just want to get there, or I want to get there fast, or I want to get there the cheapest way, or I want
Okay.
so it could be cost.
Cheap, yep.
Yeah.
How far?
How far? That's a really good one.
How much do you need to transport?
Are you carrying any loads? Cargo?
Why do you need to get from point A to point B?
Yeah.
Like
Let's-
what are the results that you're looking for when
Yeah.
you get there?
Good. Results. Comfort?
In what other ways have you tried getting from point A to point B?
Yep.
Alternatives.
What are you doing now? That's a really good one too, because like, what are you doing now, and why don't you like doing that? Then that kind of takes you back to figuring out. I also think this is something that should be broken down more. Why do you want to get from point A to point B? As customers that are wanting to get from point A to point B, this is going to be a loaded question, which is going to end up probably, they're going to say some of these type of things too. So, anything else? So, based on that, in this analogy, the story that he tells on his article that he wrote about this was it's a person on a college campus. So they wanted to get from point A to point B. So it's like, all right, let's iterate with the lowest common thing. And even before this, it's like, have you tried the bus? And then let's build this next model and deliver it to customers and get feedback. What'd you like about that? Well, it was fine, but it was wobbly and I fell off. Say what?
I think you can get to where you're going faster.
Yeah. It was like, it's not very efficient still. So, all right, they added a handlebar. Same kind of stuff. It's better, I'm more stable, but still I'm sweaty when I get there. All right, then let's iterate again. And that's kind of the idea behind, you see where I'm going. One of the feedback things that he said they got was that they liked the air on them. That wasn't a problem. They didn't mind being exposed to the elements. And this, again, is just a metaphor and an analogy, so it's all made up, of course. But you get the idea that we need to, this is kind of the fail fast thing of let's really analyze what we're doing with our customer base. Let's really see what's possible. Let's build the, instead of building the most valuable prototype, your MVP, let's build the, what did he call it? He said instead of doing minimal viable, because those words are very easy to misunderstand, let's do the first testable product, and then move to the first likable product, and then move to the first lovable product. And so but the idea is to stay in feedback mode with your customer, have a set of beta customers, in your prototyping phase. same, I mean, software is easy. People do this, and he had a really great example of like how they did it at Spotify. One guy spent 6 days, wrote the first version. Shared it with friends and family because it was hard-coded and it was on their own personal server. They didn't have licensed music. They just had a set of music that they had hard-coded in for them to search and choose from. And their first thing that they wanted to accomplish was no latency. As soon as you hit play, you start hearing it. That was kind of their target that they wanted to hit. And they kept the interface super simple. So they iterated the first time with just family and friends. And then they, modified, and then they modified. And they have an amazing success story. I think he said or maybe he was talking about Minecraft. Anyway, like 100 times they did software updates during that first year. Minecraft is the same kind of story. So they iterated a lot, and they still do updates. They have a constant feedback loop that they do with their user base to add features and what does the customers actually want in this world of Minecraft. So kind of that same concept. Now, if you're doing a product-based business, it might be harder. Like, let's say we are trying to make a new version of a car and select a car. Well, obviously, we can't just like one guy and like hit a first prototype out. But modeling, and again, getting surveys, doing analysis is going to be really important to whatever it is that you're trying to do. And then not getting, we have to, allow the customers to lead and not get so hell-bent on it. No, this is what I envision, and I want it to look like this. We need to not be so emotionally tied to what it is we're trying to do, and remember the ultimate thing of just get them from point A to point B fast and cheap and whatever. So we can break it down a little bit more, but I mean, I think that the gist of it is simple. The actual execution of it is not. Coming up with the ideas, figuring out what problem we need to solve, why we're going into business. Like, we have some inspiration that we, or vision that we have, but now we got to break it down. And then there's all the costing layers that need to happen. Market research, what other competitors are out there in the space. Lots of great resources on that life cycle. Just Google product development life cycle. There's a ton of textbooks and articles about it. So I wanted to just kind of touch on what I feel is really important, which is, iterate fast and fail fast and get feedback and stay in communication with your customers as you're going.